Hey everybody, I just want to do a quick video here for this motor that I just replaced in my heater. And my heater's pretty old, it's like 30 years old, and I was having a hard time finding the right motor to replace it. So, you know, after 30 years, the dirt had built up a lot, and the shaft is, you know, I was getting a lot of noise out of this thing. So I had to replace it. Go to find out, you know, there's no direct replacement for it. Anyway, I used the cross-reference I found on the internet, and I found out that this Type U51 Fasco motor could be replaced with this Fasco D150 motor. So the specs on it are, it's 115 volts, a quarter horsepower, 1050 RPMs, and it has thermal protection. But the new Fasco motor requires a capacitor, a run capacitor, so you have to buy that separate. And the shaft was just a little bit long on the new motor, so I had to cut a nice piece of it off. But you can see the flat spot around the whole length of the shaft, so that made it easy for me. The shaft wasn't hardened, so it cut right off with a hacksaw. And you can see I cut a good piece of it off. The shaft is really long on the new motor, so you're definitely probably going to have to adjust it. Anyway, here's the motor I used to replace it. It's called the Fasco D150. You can see the specs there. All the specs I mentioned. Now my motor only used the 1 speed, so that's the quarter horsepower speed. And there's you know, it tells you how to wire it right on the motor, and adding the capacitor turned out to be no big deal. It's just 2 wires on the motor. I mounted the capacitor to the blower motor housing. Now the one thing about this motor, why I had a hard time finding it, is because you see on this motor here, it has 3 mounting points for your wireframe. So this had a wireframe mount. So these 3 mounting points are not standard. Every motor has 4, so the 4 doesn't line up. You can see this one is made for 3 mounts. So anyway, the Fasco, even though it has 4, and you can see it in the picture, they're it's the 3, and then there's 1 extra. So if I show it to you on this motor, it will be these 3, and there's another one here. So the Fasco D150 is a definite replacement. I didn't have to take this extra one out, I just left it in there. Everything hooked up easy, and it was perfect direct replacement for an old blower motor that has 3 mounts like this. There you can see it. So there was a wire frame that held this in, and then the squirrel cage was mounted on the shaft. So anyway, just wanted to let everybody know who might be looking for this 3 mount wire system. The Fasco D150 motor will definitely do it if you need a quarter horsepower. And that's it. So just a couple things, other things I want to add. The newer motors today, they have this clamping band that bands around here, and it's still mounted with 3 points on the case. But this one had the wire frame that mounted to these 3 points. So most of them have the 3 mounts on the case, but they use the clamp around this body. And the other thing is the speeds. If your thing is only 1 speed, you're only going to use the 1 wire, which is the white and the black. if you're the blue is for medium, and this is, I guess this is for low. Anyway, you just tape them off and don't use them. Just make sure you put tape around them. And I guess that's about it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel.